Okay, what's up, everybody? Christopher Leon Johnson here. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I'm at City Hall right now. I head back to 250 Broadway for the Committee on Housing and Buildings hearing when it comes to, and that's chaired by Councilmember Karina Sanchez of the 14th Councilmanic District, which covers the Bronx. So today, the hearing will be about co-ops and supportive housing. I gotta say about that 2 minutes. I'm gonna head back right now. I gotta go back to my house and get some stuff from my sister and my niece, and then watch out for my cat, and then had to get a package. It happened simultaneously. Thank God works mysterious ways. But I wanna talk about a breaking news that just occurred, that just happened recently, like an hour ago, where Instacart is suing the city, mainly the Department of Consumer Worker Protection in the city of New York, when it comes to local law 124, was basically the same thing as mandating the app to pay deliverista the minimum wage as of same as Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub is now paying the deliverista, which is now $22 an hour. And basically what they're suing, and the great thing about this, I'm not saying that, look, I've said many times that I am not against a living wage. I am not against anybody making a living wage in the city. But I'm here to say this, that, and I said to many journalists that, and many people in this political spectrum, that I don't like the rollout of this minimum wage was because of the fact that only a certain few knew about the day of the hearing, and the people that introduced these bills purposely made sure that these bills are not talked about to where that it's amplified to where that people will come out and show opposition to these bills. Because the truth of the matter of fact is that, look, like I said before, I am pro-labor. I used to be a 33 shop steward. I know about the fight to make it where that members have a living wage, benefits, and etc. I know the fight. But I'll say this right now, that the way this minimum wage was rolled out was only done for a certain few and engineered by a certain few, to the point of where that the city council only allowed that same few to speak on behalf of the bill, to where that the consent was more manufactured than real consent. Majority of the deliveristas didn't give a shit about the wages. All they cared about, and many will tell you that majority of deliveristas, like 90% deliveristas, all they care about is making sure that they don't get deactivated. And when they get deactivated, they should get brought back on the app. And the thing about it is that the nonprofit that was pushing for both the first bill, when it came to the main three apps, Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub, to pay minimum wage, and now Instacart will be forced to pay minimum wage, is the Worker Justice Project, which is ran by Legit Galapa. She and many others, they made it where that only other than making sure that people really keep their job, they just care about a fucking wage. What's the point of paying someone, like, you're gonna get $26 an hour? You can't even see $26 an hour. It's fucking bullshit. But I want to make it real clear that this lawsuit, I want to keep it real that I think that this lawsuit with Instacart has a bigger punch than the last lawsuit when it came to the Relay and DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber suing the city, because this time Instacart is taken to federal court. They take it to federal court instead of state Supreme Court, and you gotta understand that Supreme Court is ran by the city. The city elected officials and the city ran county committees decide who becomes Supreme Court judges and civil court judges and all these judges in the state. But when it's federal, all that's appointed by the president with the help of advice and consent by Congress, mainly the U.S. Senate. So I believe that this is my thing, right? I believe that Instacart has the advantage because if Trump gets into this battle, if let's say Trump decides to jump into this thing with certain people, part of the Trump administration decide to jump into this battle, it might go in Instacart's favor. It might go in their favor. It's something where that this bill might go into the favor of Instacart, because to keep it real, like I said, I'll say right now that the rollout of this law was done wrong, was a bad rollout. And with the rollout, mainly with the first rollout, when it came to the apps like Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, and Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Relay, the apps start retaliating to where that now, if you ride an e-bike and you blow a red light, you go to the criminal court right across the street up there. Right across the street on the other side of City Hall. Warren City Street. You blow a red light. You don't wear PPE. You go over 15 miles per hour. You ride an e-bike like this guy riding his e-bike. You go over 15 miles per hour. You will have to go to criminal court. So criminal summons court. And it just weird that this minimum wage completely put more of these guys and gals who are mostly migrants, mostly immigrants, migrants in danger, not only with the law going over there. And thank God we have a mayor that, an incoming mayor that is anti-ICE. But, you never know how this president's going to do. He might start letting those guys in ICE go into 1 Century Street to start fucking with them. You know what I mean? So it's weird that, look, like I said before, I'm against the rollout of the minimum wage, but I'm not against a living wage for anybody. But I'll say, like I said, I'll end this right here, that I'm not surprised that Instacart was going to sue, but I'll give my opinion like this, that I think that Instacart has the advantage. But even if they win this, the city is going to retaliate themselves, and start open investigations. They're going to do a lot of things, open investigations, find a way to start finding. Look right here. Look, this guy right here. He's riding his e-bike down the block. Right, this guy. Blow a red light, and he gets a ticket. 15 miles per hour, you get a ticket. But like I said, you never know. Like, this is something where that you never know how cities going to retaliate. And that's what happened with Uber and DoorDash. They could have won their lawsuit, but the consequence ain't worth the bullshit. So I'm about to log off here. I go upstairs. I got to go and testify to city council. I got to go back upstairs. So that's all I got to say. And take care and enjoy your day.